John Steenhuisen is hoping to lead the Democratic Alliance for the next 5 years. He launched his campaign for the party leadership yesterday. Steenhuisen promised to sort out race-related policies and to rein in ill-disciplined members should he become leader. He joins us live now from our Cape Town studios. Thank you for your time, Mr. Steenhuisen. Let's start off. What are the core values you're basing your leadership campaign on?
Well, I think it's on values-based leadership. It's on ensuring that we have ideological coherence in the organisation. And then thirdly, ensuring that we build a vote-winning machine in the Democratic Alliance that's able to authentically and organically connect with communities and to be a party that's driving issues that matter to people on the ground. And using the various platforms of the party and where we're represented in councils, legislatures and in Parliament to highlight those issues and put on the table workable solutions for them.
All leaders, by the very nature of leadership, have a target on their backs and are ridiculed or criticised, whether rightly or wrongly. If you're elected leader of the DA, and especially in the run-up to next year's local government elections, what do you think will be the most obvious targets on your back?
Well, I've been in this game for over 20 years and I've been an elected public representative for that time, so I'm well used to the slings and arrows that come with the job, and you know, you've got to roll with it. You can't be a sailor that curses the sea. So I'm sure there'll be all sorts of creativity that gets hauled out during that period, but nonetheless, you know, you've got to stick firm and be decisive about where you want to go and where you want to take the organisation. And I think if you do that, those criticisms tend to wash off very, very quickly.
So you've said that good leaders are not afraid to make tough decisions, perhaps tough decisions like axing more DA employees at a time when South Africa is crippled by joblessness. Are you afraid that making job cuts ahead of the party elections may damage your chances?
No, not at all. I think that it is a function of the very poor election result we had last year, which has meant that our income stream as a party has declined, and also we're in the midst of a major reorganisation of the Democratic Alliance, turning it into a modern vote-winning machine. And so we've embarked upon a process that would look at how we build an organisation that is able to organically and authentically reach communities. And obviously with that comes us ensuring that we live within the envelope of income that the party has. And so this operation exercise that we're going to undertake at the moment is a winter pruning that we hope is going to yield spring blooms.
Are you also trying to prune out divisions within the party?
Yes, of course. I think that people are tired of seeing DA members of Parliament slugging it out on social media and through the media inches. When a party starts to have a conversation with itself and not to have a conversation with its voters, the voters find somebody else to have a conversation with. And so I want the party to be far more outwardly focused, and when we exit our policy conference and our elective conference in May, the party's got to be pulling in one direction. We can't continue to have this disruption of various directions, rudderlessness and lack of a coherent ideological positioning that I think has bedeviled the party over the course of the last 2 to 3 years. That needs to come to an end, and we need to focus on putting our best foot forward to get as many councillors elected in the local government elections, and obviously to either be a party with a majority in as many councils as possible, but also to be the senior partner in any new majorities that may need to be formed after the local government elections.
A party discipline can sometimes be a bit of a balancing act, trying to negotiate different divisions within the party. Are you going to be a helicopter mom or a disciplinarian? How do you aim to punish those who step out of line, as it were?
Well, I think that we've got to have a fair process that is well respected and in which all members buy into. We've already taken a very strong line against several councillors in Johannesburg who disagreed with the party position and broke the caucus line on that. We've taken action against mayors in various municipalities that have not led with the values of the party. And I think that if you start to be fair and consistent in taking up these disciplinary matters, that pretty soon the message goes out that this is a party that actually takes holding itself and its own members accountable as serious as it takes holding the government accountable.
I want to take you away from DA party politics for a second and ask you to comment on an issue that is dominating today's news. Former President F.W. de Klerk's denial of apartheid as a crime against humanity. What is the DA's position on these utterances?
Well, my view is it is a silly argument, and it was settled a long time ago. Apartheid was a crime against humanity, and it's been defined by the United Nations as such. But I think we should be less obsessed about that argument, and what should be obsessing every South African is how we set about fixing the inequality and poverty that still exists on racial lines 30 years after the end of apartheid and democracy came here. We have 30 million people in South Africa who are living under less than 991 rand a month. We've got a huge youth unemployment crisis. 26% of children in the country don't meet the daily nutritional needs for them to be able to grow properly. These are the issues that we should be grappling with. I think these debates are a little bit self-indulgent, and as I say, were settled a long time ago.
Right, thank you very much. You've been speaking to DA's interim leader, John Steenhuisen, about his election campaign.